What's going on YouTube? Tyler James here. We're going to get right into this mock draft 3.0, but before we do, I have a little bit of breaking news, I guess is the best way to put it. I actually make t-shirts on the side. I don't know if anybody knows that, but I do make t-shirts, and Markelle Fultz, as you can see on the screen here, actually retweeted and liked one of the t-shirts that was made for him, so that's pretty cool. It made some news, kind of breaking news type thing. CSNNE.com did an article on it, and basically just kind of using it as Markelle Fultz wants to come to the Celtics, which is good for me because, you know, that's the player I've had in every mock draft going to the Celtics. So if you want to check out the shirt, it's on the screen as you can see right now. So check it out, CelticsSocial.com. The shirt that he retweeted and liked himself. We also have some other ones like the Saved by Markelle. But you're here for the mock draft 3.0, so let's get right into that. Here it is, my top 10 picks. What a time to be a Boston Celtics fan. Not only do they go to the Eastern Conference Finals and actually win a game against Cavaliers when most people thought they'd be swept, but they land the #1 pick in the NBA draft for the first time in franchise history. The prize is Markelle Fultz. Every single mock draft I've had the Celtics getting him, and that's for a reason. He fits in perfectly considering if you look at the next possible pick, Lonzo Ball is more of a point guard. Markelle Fultz can play the 1 and the 2 alongside Isaiah Thomas, and I think it could potentially work out perfect. You don't have to trade the pick, you don't have to trade Isaiah Thomas, let him grow, maybe take over the point guard role someday, but for now, play the 2 when Isaiah Thomas is in the game, or play 1 when he's out. Should I say it? Should I say I told you so? Okay, yeah, I told you so. I said all along, ever since I started my first mock draft and way before that, Lonzo Ball will be a Los Angeles Laker. I don't have an exact science how it's going to work out, but I told you it was going to work out, and it did. Any other team gets the #1 pick, maybe Lonzo Ball gets considered, but the Celtics are a perfect fit for Markelle Fultz, which means Magic Johnson gets his guy, and Lonzo Ball will be a Laker. We're only at the #3 pick, and this is where it gets really tough. The Philadelphia 76ers are known to pick best player available, and even though I think they should go Jason Tatum or Malik Monk, maybe a more pure scorer, I think they'll go Josh Jackson, even though I don't like the fit alongside Ben Simmons for him. It's going to be an interesting pick because they usually go best player available. If they're smart, they might look for a better scorer, but knowing the 76ers, they might go Jackson, and that's really not a bad pick because he's going to be one of the best players in this draft. As of now, I see this 3rd and 4th pick with the 76ers and Suns being interchangeable between two players. Could go either way, Jackson Tatum or Tatum Jackson. I actually like the fit for Tatum better in Philadelphia. However, if they go best player available and take Jackson, not a bad pick here for the Suns. Add some scoring, maybe their #2 scorer beside Devin Booker. He can play alongside him because Devin Booker plays the 2, Tatum plays the 3, and they already have their point guard in Eric Bledsoe. So if they don't trade Bledsoe and don't take someone like De'Aaron Fox here, why not get another scorer to go alongside with an already elite scorer in Devin Booker? That's your 1-2 punch for the future, and you already have your young big man you're working on, so it really is a great pick for them here. Every year for the NBA draft, there's always that one guy that skyrockets through big boards and raises his stock as much as possible. I think De'Aaron Fox is that guy this year. You're going to keep hearing the big names, Markelle Fultz and Lonzo Ball, but he's actually considered by some the 3rd best player in the draft. And there's even rumors saying he's the best point guard in the draft over Lonzo Ball and Markelle Fultz. Most of all, the biggest rumor is he wants to be in Sacramento, and you don't hear that very often. So if that's true, you got to take him if you're the Kings and make him your future point guard if he isn't picked before that. As far as pure scoring and putting the ball in the hoop, there really isn't anybody better in this draft than Malik Monk. That's why you're going to see his name for many different teams in mock drafts, ranging from the #3 pick probably to the #10 pick. He is a decent fit for Philly at #3 because he adds scoring, they need that, but so do most teams in the NBA, especially the Orlando Magic. They don't really have somebody who can take over the game, you know, off the dribble with the ball. Aaron Gordon's a big man, so Malik Monk is a great fit and could be their future #1 scorer beside the young talent they already have. At the number 7 pick for the Minnesota Timberwolves, this really is a perfect fit. Jonathan Isaac out of Florida State. He's a small forward, can play the power forward, probably could play 3 through 5 in the NBA. The reason I like him here is the Timberwolves are already set up for the future as far as scoring goes. They have Andrew Wiggins and Karl-Anthony Towns, both who could be elite scorers. So why not add a guy who could really be that X factor? A guy that can add those intangibles that every roster needs and be the difference maker in a lot of different games. He can play the 3 through 5, and most of all, he'll do those things that they already don't have on that roster. We're now at the number 8 pick for the New York Knicks, and it blows my mind that Dennis Smith Jr. is available in most mock drafts this late. He was a top 3 pick at the beginning of the year, and he had an up and down season at North Carolina State, but that still doesn't matter to me. I think he's going to be a great NBA player. He's just too athletic and talented not to be. So if you can get him this late in the draft in the New York Knicks, you do that. You put him alongside Porzingis, and then you have your future. He's perfectly made for Madison Square Garden, an exciting player who can take over games. At number 9 for the Dallas Mavericks, a lot's going to depend on who's already drafted and who's available. I think they should probably narrow it down to 3 players, and that's Dennis Smith Jr., who I have going to the Knicks, Lauri Markkanen, who some say is the next Dirk Nowitzki, believe that if you want, and then Frank Ntilikina, the international point guard from France. Ntilikina is 6'5", he's long, athletic, and very fast. One of the comparisons I had was Dante Exum. But most of all, I think the Mavericks are going to look his way because, like I've said in the past, they have a very good international prospect scouting team. So you know they've done their homework on this kid, and maybe they have a leg up on drafting him or know some things we don't. Either way, Dallas needs a point guard, so it's a great fit. Here at number 10, Sacramento, of course, also has the number 5 pick, so I believe they're going to go point guard, big man with that 5 and 10 pick. Number 5 is way too high to pick a big guy in this draft because there aren't many very good ones. So at number 10, you're going to have to evaluate. Do you want a stretch big who can hit threes and stretch the floor, or do you want a more prototypical type big man like Zach Collins? Either way, you can't really go wrong, but I think that'll be the decision they have to make.